Hello, Evie. It's actually technically Friday morning. I am extremely tired. I'm going to shower and jump into bed. I have not slept in a while, but first I had to make my video and tell you about my amazing Teal to the Golan. Da 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 da. I was on a 5-day trip free of charge on my dad. My previous school from 2 years ago invited me to go on their trip, and it was amazing. I've seriously I've never been on a better trip. We started off Friday during the day in this kibbutz, like really liberal kibbutz that had a teaching greenhouse for high school students, and they worked with all the Arab villages around them. We heard Arabs talk about their experiences being Israeli and all this other stuff, and we went to Alona Park, the ancient Roman aqueduct, walked through it. Then we went to Afula, and we stayed at this children's home, which was just beautiful. It's for kids who are taken out of their homes either due to neglect, abuse, or financial constraint. And a lot of the kids were really, rough, but by the end of it, they were amazing. This one girl just kept hugging me, and I was like, this is a beautiful experience. Saturday night, we went to Meron, which was crazy. Something like, I don't know if it's correct, but I want to say 500,000 people. I feel like that's way out of line, but it was ridiculously crowded. We didn't stay long, but it was just it was so packed, and there was a lot of people giving out free stuff, which was great. I got free coffee and food all night, which was fun, and we got back at 3 in the morning, and then up the next morning at 7 to go on our first hike. We went to Zavitan Waterfall, which was breathtaking. It was a medium difficulty hike, but it was still pretty difficult. There was a bunch of giant boulders, a lot of slipping and sliding, but it wasn't like the wet hike. And I have my handy dandy map. You can't really see it, but it was beautiful, and I was going to post pictures of it, but they're on Facebook, so check it out. Zavitan Waterfall, so gorgeous. Why did we do that? That night I was just so tired and ridiculous. Next day, Nachal Yehudia, what is up? The place where Shayna fell and cut her head open and was bleeding everywhere and had to get rescued by rescue workers and had to get taken by to the hospital in Poria, and I went with her, and then she got 5 giant things in her head. Yeah. So we went back, and it was amazing. I was so amazed that Shayna just did it, and she was so good, and I was also really proud of myself for finishing. It was the most difficult hike I've ever been on. It's considered one of the hardest hikes in all of Israel, and it was. It was great. The first hour and a half I got there and I was strong, and we got so quick to this giant. At one point there's basically a giant metal ladder drilled into the bedrock, and you have to descend about maybe 90 feet into this giant pool of water beside a waterfall, and it's freezing, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm prepared. You get to the bottom of the ladder, you jump in, and shock to your system, and you can't breathe, and you have to swim to the edge and climb out. And then the stinking rest of the hike, my shoes were sopping wet because I left my shoes on, sloshing, slippery, zero traction. I now have 57 bruises because I could not climb. I don't know if you can see my leg right now. Oh, you can't. It's just bruise. It's just giant bruise after bruise after bruise. I have this amazing back one. It looks like I got beat by myself. And let's see. Oh, here's kind of a picture of what it looks like, but not really. And what else? Then that night we went to Tveria, and that was really beautiful. Next day, we went to this chocolate factory that was a lot of fun, and we went to this old trenches that were left from the War of 1967 on the Syrian border, which was really interesting and beautiful. And we went. They had an optional trip to go kayaking, but I was a little sore from the hikes, so I went to the Na'ot factory, and I bought Na'ot. So that was fun. And we was finished up in Tveria again at night, and we visited the Ramchal's kever and Rabbi Akiva's kever, and then we came home, and I got the bus driver to drop me off at the side of the road, and I hiked back to my dorm, and it was amazing. And the funniest thing was that the same bus driver I had 2 years ago, and I walked down the street coming to the trip. He's like, wait, you were here 2 years ago, and he totally remembered me, and I was really flattered. So yeah, that's it. This is a really long video, so I'm going to stop. But I miss you, and I'm sorry for crappy videos.